'Tis the season to be jolly, but for some, this season is not always so joyful and bright. How to stay in good health through the holidays.
From the Fox 29 studios, this is Good Day Philadelphia Weekend.
Between the cooking, the shopping, catering to loved ones, the gifts, the gift wrapping, the cleaning, oh my gosh, it sounds so stressful. We have some tips for staying physically and mentally healthy this holiday season. It's the season to be jolly, but for some people, let's be serious. This time of year can be really full of stress. Get this, a new study conducted in Sweden finds people are more likely to have a heart attack on Christmas Eve than any other day of the year. The findings were released after doctors analyzed data from thousands of patients. Experts say those most at risk are the elderly and people with pre-existing conditions. However, the National Institute of Mental Health says stress can affect your physical health. To expand more on those findings, family physician and associate professor at Rowan University, Dr. Jen Caudle, and for ways to help us de-stress and enjoy the season, mindset coach Kate Butler. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Dr. Jen, let's start with you.
Yes.
When you hear these findings in this new study that the doctors are saying Christmas Eve, is that surprising to you?
It's not really. And the thing about Christmas Eve is actually the study, as you mentioned, was done in Sweden. And in Sweden, actually, Christmas Eve is kind of the big festive time. Christmas Day is where they spend more time with families. So that's sort of the height of the Christmas season. But there have been studies that have been done in the past that show a correlation between stress and heart attacks and holidays. And if you think about it, this is when maybe we're really happy, but some of us might be sad or angry. Yeah. There's a lot of emotions. There's family. We might be putting off symptoms because we want to spend time with our family. There might be financial stress. There's a lot of stuff going on, so it's not entirely surprising.
That's true. Kate, speaking from a mindset perspective, when you know you might have to go pull up to the dinner table with some people you have tension with, or you're missing a family member this year that has passed away, how do we sort of refocus our thoughts?
Sure, absolutely. And so I describe it this way. The mind is just like a garden, and when we're planting seeds in a garden, it doesn't question what we're planting. If you plant a tomato seed, a tomato plant's going to grow. Yeah. And the vegetable garden doesn't say, oh, you're planting roses, they don't belong here. It just grows whatever it is that you plant.
Okay.
And so when we're planting seeds in our mind, if we're planting seeds of anxiety, that's what's going to grow. If we're planting seeds of stress, that's what's going to grow. But if we're planting seeds of gratitude, planting seeds of peace, right? Those are the thoughts that are going to grow. And what's going to grow is more things to be grateful for. So if you're conscious of what it is that you are thinking about and looking at it as every thought is a seed that is planted in your mind, you can just become more aware of what is going to grow from there.
I love that analogy. I once heard a woman say, who talks to you more during the day than anyone else? And I kind of stopped for a second to think, and it's like yourself. It's the voice inside your head that can really get to you.
Yes.
Dr. Jen, when you see patients come into your office or your practice, is it a lot of anxiety? Is it a lot of stress this time of year?
Absolutely, and I think a lot of times my patients don't even understand they're under stress. I'm actually seeing a number of patients, sometimes this is the first holiday season without a loved one. Maybe somebody's recently passed, or maybe there are financial difficulties, or just the excitement about the holidays. There's a holiday party every 3 days, and we're like, oh my gosh. So there is a lot of stress and anxiety, and you know, I want to go back to the study for just a second and say, you know, we can't say from the study that it's the holidays that cause heart attacks.
Correct.
But you know what, this is a wake-up call, and we've seen other studies like this that suggest that around high stress times that there can be some sort of correlation and association, and this really is a wake-up time, especially for those with higher risk factors. You're older, you've got diabetes, you already have existing heart disease. This is a time to really pay attention and be mindful.
Okay, being mindful. Kate, help us with some tips. I know the one you just said was a great one, planting the right seeds in your garden. It's your mind. What are some other tips that can be helpful for people?
Absolutely. And so what I mentioned was what we focus on grows, right? And so somehow we have to look at how do we give more of this gratitude or invite this more into our life. And so my family has a budget every year for charity. And so instead of just writing a check or giving it all to one place, my children and I, we go out and we buy the amount of gifts that this, amount of money would, as many gifts as we can possibly get. We put it all in a basket.
kids.
Yeah, these are the kids. These are the kids. That's Bella and Livy. And we put it in a gratitude basket. And every morning they choose a toy, bring it to school, and put it in the toy donation box. So every day we are inviting in that gratitude, that love, right? And this is how you can begin to plant seeds. So we talk about it on the way in, and it's not only planting seeds for me, but planting seeds for them, and then hopefully carrying on that ripple effect to the children that those toys will bring happiness to.
And that's good for your health too. It's not just good for your mind, it's good for the rest of our bodies as well. I really like that a lot.
That is a good idea, because I think it takes the focus off of me and it makes it about other people.
That's exactly right.
Or make it a we thing, and then you're not so focused on my issues, my stress, my drama.
So our body actually becomes weaker when we only focus on ourselves, right? And you can do this through muscle testing, chiropractors do it, and things of that nature. And when we focus on giving something to someone else or doing something for someone else, something that's outside of us, our bodies actually are empowered and get stronger. And so that's actually another health benefit as well.
I love that.
Yeah.
Dr. Jen, one thing I talk about a lot with friends is sometimes therapy, counseling, being honest with yourself and very self-aware about what it is that makes you stressful. And sometimes I think it's just those mental health conversations that, yes, I'm stressed, or yes, I have anxiety. That's a part of it as well, right?
It is. And let me tell you, for everyone out there watching, counseling is a gem. And mental health services are gems. And this is really the time. Don't be ashamed. Don't be embarrassed. Don't feel like I should be able to handle this on my own. That needs to go out the window. That's often what I see as a family doctor, is people say, you know, I'm not feeling right, but I'm a strong woman. Why can't I get a hold of this? It has nothing to do with strength.
That's right.
So if you need help, seek out help. Get help.
Ladies, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Together we are better, right?
Yes,
I
love
know.
that.
Yes, we are.